like the 1 hour specials originate there.
Yeah, it's already.
It's so cool.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Who'd you see?
There, it was random because I could only get tickets to the belly room.
All right, so this is
oh no, go ahead.
real quick. Cool. So the Comedy Store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comedy Store actually Pauly Shore's mom runs it, or ran it. She passed away, I believe, about 4 to 5 years ago. The Comedy Store is just a historical landmark when it comes to comedy. Mm-hmm. So you have the Cellar in New York, and you have the Comedy Store in LA, right? You have people like Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey that started at the Comedy Store. So you know how some people say that, sometimes when you step into the building, you can feel all the old souls, and all, that's where they're saying, if these walls could talk, kind of spark from. So that's one of those institutions. Like, you have the cathedral in Paris. It's one of those things, except comedy affiliated, right? So definitely one of my dream destinations to go. It's close. It's only it's in LA. It's an hour flight, but I definitely want to catch a few comedians there. G, hit the intro.
Is this something?
Welcome to the FOF podcast. Once again, this is John. We have Deanna alongside with us, and of course, Anselmo, the man himself. We were just talking about the Comedy Store. It seems like it's only me and Diana that are familiar with the Comedy Store. But the way that I got introduced to the Comedy Store is podcasting. So a lot of the comedians that I listen to, they all perform at the Comedy Store. I'm not sure how did you come across the Comedy Store?
Yeah, the first time I heard of it was on this podcast called Community Service, and that one's by a LA comedian who, he's not that big yet, but his name is Craig Conant. So he kept mentioning Comedy Store, Comedy Store, Comedy Store, and I was like, what is that? And then I started hearing it pop up in a bunch of other podcasts. So then I looked into it, and I'm like, wow, that sounds like super, like just a great time. Because like I was mentioning to Anselmo earlier, the most famous comedians in the world go there randomly, and it's like $15 to get in, and they go like one after the other, and it's just a good time for $15. I went there last year in LA, and I was supposed to go to my birthday this year, but the whole COVID thing happened. But anyway, it's a great place.
Man, it sounds really cool.
I love that place. Yeah, it's.
I don't know why I haven't heard of this place.
It's awesome.
I've been to like Tommy T's and Cobb's Comedy Club in the city, but
Cobb's is good.
I've never been to the Comedy Store. I'm gonna have to check that out next time in LA.
You should.
So yeah, let's continue talking about that. But that name, Community Service, for the podcast, I like that name.
I love that name. It's really good.
I wish we could steal that name.
Yeah,
Call our project
fun
Service.
fact.
No.
Remember when oh sorry.
No.
Remember when we were creating those teas for moving forward? And I was like, oh, the Community Service tea.
Yeah.
It was based off that podcast.
Wow.
The Community Service podcast. Yeah, Inspo. I was like, man, that's a really good podcast, and it's cool because it kind of like the dude that runs a podcast, he was like a former drug addict, and well, now he's sober, and because he's sober he became a comedian, and he's really good. He's under Crystalia, actually.
Hold on, who? What guy?
Craig Conant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's an opener for Crystalia. He's pretty
real?
funny. Yeah, he's
Man,
pretty funny.
that's crazy. So this dude Crystalia is a big comedian, right? Who's that girl? There's a girl that came out. She's pretty famous too. She's an actress.
Oh.
She came out and busted his ass out.
Damn.
Because of that show that we were talking about, where you played a pedophile. So she put the irony that Crystalia is playing a pedophile.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Busted his business all open on Twitter. Caught on Fire. Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen from T-Fat-K, very good friends of Chris D'Elia, had just a little segment 2 or 3 episodes ago, and Brendan was crying. He was so upset.
Wow.
He was so upset, dude. Just imagine like one of your closest buddies just getting busted out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just first off, who do you be mad at? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously mad at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also just concerned. Like, I don't even know what I'd be feeling. It'd be crazy. So the Comedy Store is an American comedy club opened in 1972, which I believe is the second oldest comedy club in the United States.
Wow, that's some history right there.
Yeah. Are you into any comedians, Selma?
I love Dave Chappelle. I know
Oh
Diana
my God,
mentioned
that's
him
my
earlier.
number one ever, like of all time.
Yeah.
I love Dave Chappelle.
I mean,
He's
way
my
back in high
favorite,
school,
favorite.
everyone was into the Chappelle show. Chappelle show.
Yeah.
You know?
Man. All right. So some of his skits, dude, super risque, like he had said before.
Yeah,
You can do it back then.
yeah,
I don't think you can do it now.
You
yeah,
can.
yeah. You can't.
Have you did anyone see his new? It's not even really a special, like a comedic special, but he came out with 846. It's on YouTube right now, but it's like it kind of addresses the whole Black Lives Matter topic. But yeah, I was kind of surprised because it just had nothing to do with comedy pretty much, but it was just him, like, you know, he preaches that throughout his, you know, in previous specials, so it doesn't surprise me, but it was just kind of crazy. Like, he just came out with the whole work, you know.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
I think I might have seen a clip of that, not the entire thing, but that probably went viral. If that's the same thing I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's most likely that one.
It wasn't funny at all.
Yeah.
Like when I was obviously Dave Chappelle, you think you're gonna laugh because he's gonna, but I don't think I heard a joke. Like maybe like one or two.
No, what's her name?
Karen.
What's her name? Damn, I can't remember her name.
What was the joke about?
It's a comedian.
No, she's a political person. Why is she blanking?
Peluso.
Is it Candace? No, not Candace Thompson. She's a comedian.
Candace Parker.
No.
Basketball player. But you know what I was just thinking was about how so far we've come from comedians having like free territory, free game to be able to just talk about whatever they would like to. Now, like even Kevin Hart, he lost that gig as the host of, I think it was the Golden Globes, because he had said something, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago that was homophobic, and so he ended up losing that gig. And I mean, he stood behind, he apologized, and I think people wanted him to apologize again, and he said, you know, I apologize for that already, that's in my past, you know, and let's move on from it. But of course, this day and age is so much different than how things were before. So I like to take the conversation there. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Listen, man. Everybody has skeletons in the closet, right? Like, I think it's impossible for somebody to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I look at my MySpace, I'll have some weird shit that I'm not happy about.
MySpace.
You know what I'm saying? You probably you're in the MySpace era, right?
I had a MySpace
In the
in
tail end.
7th grade, so 7th and 8th grade, I think.
Let me ask you this though. Boom. Name your top 8. Are you still friends with them?
It was Tom still in your top 8 when you.
Are you even friends with any of the top 8? Okay, no.
Oh, actually, I do remember my top 8. I think I customized it to make it bigger
Was it
because I just
32?
had too many. I had too many. I had more
Customized
than
it.
8. So.
Yeah.
We can't name them though. You know, can't put no names on here where they live.
Man,
So.
top 8 to get you in trouble back in the day, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in your
Sorry.
top 8.
Top 8 to get you in some hot water back in the day.
That's
name-
why you expand it.
What's one of the songs you had on there?
I know the song that I left with. I know the
Awesome.
song that I left with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lil Wayne, Money on My Mind.
Money on my mind. Ooh, that's a good one.
See, just imagine if I'm for some strange reason, I decided to run for office.
Money
They go
on
back to my MySpace.
Yeah,
Oh,
money's
this
on
guy.
They
Are
go
you
twisted.
Republican? Is that all you think of?
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a little something back.
Next thing you know,
back
you're
there.
affiliated with the Bloods because of Lil Wayne's.
Exactly.
blood.
Suru.
You know,
You
it's
know?
over for you.
It's over. No political office. At
Yeah,
least not over here.
man.
But yeah, man. So, I mean, one thing that I did want to talk about that you mentioned about the sort of the freedom that comedians have to say what they want. You know, it's no matter what, right? in that art, something's gonna come back and bite you just because of that. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Being edgy, being funny, and stuff like that will get you more views and people to go out there, you know, because they say the things that supposedly we aren't supposed to say or whatever, which makes it funny.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I don't think that that they should be. I mean, come on, dude. Like, I think it's only natural to grow out of ideas and grow into others. Like, just cut them, give them a break.
That's so true, and it's all in context, honestly. Like the way you say things means so much more than how you say it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's just dependent on that. I feel like that's why I really love Dave Chappelle, because he's just, you see that in him from the very beginning. You know what I mean?
But some people say like he sold his soul. You know, I've heard people talk about this. Like he went, did all the Chappelle show, made a mockery of certain things some people would say, and then he decided to turn it all down and, you know, to take a backpedal from that multi-million-dollar contract he had with Comedy Central, and he just dropped it. He just left it.
Yeah, he dropped it because he realized what his sketches, how people were taking his sketches. Yeah. I don't know. People should be, I don't want to make this all about Dave Chappelle and comedy, but yeah, like the problem is sometimes people speak too candidly and they're not, you know, they're not informing themselves, and they're not giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like they're putting out art, and that should just be protected too. You know what I mean?
I feel like that not only applies to comedians, but also us on a daily basis. Like, especially nowadays, you see people losing their job because of a post that they made maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Especially if you're a celebrity, of course, you're on that spotlight. But I know you've heard of like Barbecue Becky. She got fired, I think. Yeah. You know, all these other Karens and whatever they call these people, they got fired, right? And so, like, it's not even just celebrities anymore. It's the everyday person.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, is society becoming too sensitive? Was that what it is? I mean, is it that, how could I say this? Yeah, I guess, it's sensitive, I think, too overly sensitive, you know, like nowadays, are we losing a bit of, you know, that common sense that we had back in the day, I think, you know, where you just don't talk, you know, because back then, if you talk out of line with your mom, she'd give you a smack in the face and be like, yo, the adults here are talking. You know what I'm saying? Is that in a figurative sense, not a literal sense, have we lost that smack in the face? You know, do we need to get smacked more in the face in a sense? Or is losing your job the smack in the, I don't think that's correcting it, you know? What the fuck, what are we doing wrong?
I think it's just right now, because social media is just, you know, so rampant. People are just love to police other people because what's the reward? The reward is, oh, yeah, that's right. Let's get him. And who led the charge? The person who spoke out first, right? The person that, I don't know, gets angry and just has a few good points. They're kind of seen as a hero. Or whatever you want to call it, and that's kind of what incentivizes them to say something in the first place, because they want to be recognized, because they want the attention.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like there's so much content accessible. Everything is, there's a spotlight on everything and almost everyone. With videos, you could get into a confrontation with someone in the street, someone could record it, and next thing you know, you're a viral sensation, and maybe for all the wrong reasons you don't even know. And so on the flip side of that, I also think that there's pros and there's cons to this. Just like the police having to have body cams, there's like everyone's being policed, you know what I mean? And there's pros and cons to that. Obviously, one, some people may take something you do or say the wrong way, but on the flip side, if you were to do something that is actually wrong and it gets recorded now, or if you're in the situation where something's being done to you and someone records it, now you have a additional protection, right? Just imagine this whole movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, would have not gained as much steam as it does now if it weren't for the footage of George Floyd or the whole slew of names of people who have been murdered, you know? And so I think like there are pros and cons to it, just like everything else.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring up something that you said in some the first time that we came here, you said that you really hope that this isn't just something that's going to pass over, something that's just trending right now. Man, I obviously that we've seen it happen before. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen this happen before. This history always repeats itself. This is the first time, you know. So, I mean, like, what do you think this time is different? Like, do you think that, you know, this isn't going to be just another page in the history book? It's going to be something that's actually gonna stick. You know, I think progress is being made, kinda.
Yeah.
But is this just going to be another fad till another coronavirus hits?
You know, I feel like each time these movements have really gained traction like this, from the civil rights movement to now the Black Lives Matter movement, all the other movements in between, I feel like there have been positive outcomes that have stood the test of time. You know, like segregation. Obviously, there's a lot of research and history of what happened with the civil rights movement, and then now you see cops actually being convicted of murder. When's the last time you've heard of a cop being convicted of murder, right? From killing someone. Obviously, there's been so many people that got away with these type of situations, and now someone's actually going to prison, possibly for it, if they're convicted. We'll see. That could cause a whole nother riot,
Right.
you know? So I just feel like we're probably, this is my opinion, we're probably not going to get as far as we like. It's not going to just happen overnight, but we're going to see some progress. And then that's why it's important that people continue to fight for what they believe is right, you know?
Yeah. That's strange, man. It's hard for me to get a lot of this. That's what's going on. Growing up in Richmond in the Bay Area, is such a diverse place.
Yeah.
It's so hard to think any other way. I literally grew up not knowing that I was Latino. Like, not really knowing that I was Latino. Not knowing that I was different.
Yeah.
You know? I grew up, you know, with, you know, where it was the majority was like blacks, you know what I'm saying? African American people. The people that I grew up with, the people that I consider family, a lot of people that I consider family are African American, you know? It's so hard for me just to understand it. You know, I just don't get it. Hopefully I never will, to be honest with you, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny how we started off with comedy, ended up with.
I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were going for, we started at what time? Because it's 8:38 now.
It should tell us down here. It's 18 minutes.
That was 18 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not bad, right?
It's not bad at all. And then, you know, I had some more facts here. Shorty was born Lillian Sato on July 25th, 1930, to a Jewish family.
I didn't know that Mitzi was Pauly Shore's
mom.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely feel like we're not going to have a hard time filling up an hour.
No.
I think it'll be up to us to manage the quality, I think, of our conversation and managing ourselves as best we can, you know? Because, I mean, I think everything I got to say is fucking epic.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah.
So, and I know that, but in the moment, sometimes you get caught up and you just start going.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's okay to sort of check yourself too, because a lot of times I get in that mode, and I just think that, I mean, honestly, it's something that I've been working on for like a few years now, bro. Because I get to talking and something that you just shut the fuck up. It's okay just to be like, you know what, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I lost complete control over my train of thought.
Yeah. Things like stepping up and stepping back.
Yeah.
Step up, step back. So if you feel like you really got something to say it. But if not, you might get cut off by John or Diana. Just cut in. Just if you feel like,
if you see me fucking struggling, please throw a fucking
save you.
Yeah, throw a fucking what's that called again? Lifeline, real quick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, out.
You guys are talking about, so I want to jump into some of those conversations.
See,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When you
That's
guys
good.
were talking about how what you put out there from the past might get you. It
Yeah.
reminded me about a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard this week that Joe Rogan had. It's also related to the comedian thing. You know Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Diaz said something on his podcast years ago about
Yeah.
the women.
Mhm.
They were giving shit to Joe Rogan because Joe Diaz said that in order to have women on the comedy show wherever he was working,
She has to give it.
they
Or
have to give more sex.
Had to give a little, do a little
Like
something.
a Mike
So,
Tyson.
you gotta
type
work
of-
for it.
Giving Joe Rogan that, and he laughed about it, but he didn't really go
He
into
didn't
that
stand.
subject,
He didn't
you
stand
know?
up for it.
But they're giving Joe Rogan about it.
Yeah.
About it.
So it's
That's
like,
something that came out
yeah.
years ago, and it's a podcast.
He
Yeah.
touched upon it today. Today he touched upon it with Felipe Esparza, another comedian, cool comedian.
So I haven't heard about that at all.
Mhm.
But just coming from a woman's perspective, and I know very well who Joey Diaz is,
Yeah.
and I get his form of comedy.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? Because if you know Joey Diaz, you know he talks hella shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Yeah.
like what he's really about. You know his brand. But you see, I have context,
Yeah.
so I could completely see. I would be okay with that because I'm like, that don't apply to me.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not
And
what
that-
every woman thinks. But yeah, exactly.
And then it's
Mhm.
'cause when I seen it, it came out on Facebook, right? And you
Mhm.
see the comments, people going back, so there are people
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
were saying like, oh, well, he shouldn't be talking to women like that, whatever. But then somebody else put in there, well, a woman wouldn't put herself in that position to actually do it because he didn't force them to.
Yeah.
And then they were just going back and forth.
Yeah.
But then he hit on the subject about are we too sensitive with, because he's a comedian,
Yeah.
and like you just said, like that's his way of.
That's his brand.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't mean he's serious.
Yeah. It
It
Like
reminds
he's
me like
not.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, I've been reading his book, The Undisputed Truth, and he's talking about how he went to prison for rape.
Mhm.
And I got a Mike Tyson shirt, right? So sometimes I'm wearing my Mike Tyson shirt. I love Mike Tyson as a boxer, right? But people see the shirt, sometimes I get like dirty looks, like, oh, this motherfucker supports a rapist, a
Yeah.
convicted rapist, right? But at the same time, I feel like there's difference, man. It's so complicated. It's not always just a cookie cutter situation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
People have trouble separating the art from the actual what the person is, and people have debates too about if you should even separate it in the first place.
Mhm.
Like I know when that whole Michael Jackson, even to this day, right? Michael Jackson, a lot of people just like the music, but people are like, how could you listen to that? That's
Mhm.
Michael Jackson and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, how do you separate that? That's
Yeah.
really hard to do.
Bro, I find myself one of my favorite songs to work out to. I Believe I Can Fly. Bro, I since all that happened, right? I feel so conflicted
Yeah.
listening to that song now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's so hard, but it's a great fucking song, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a great song. I can't knock that.
It's like a dog owner with a Mike Vick jersey on,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or somebody
still a
with
great
the Aaron
football player.
Hernandez jersey on, or OJ Simpson jersey.
He was a great
What are you
tight
really
end.
trying to represent with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hernandez or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me what you wear and I'll tell you who you are.
You know, you might be somebody they don't even know about what happened with a certain situation, and they just got the picture or the jersey on.
Bro,
or,
what about all those you know how they make two sets of Super Bowl winners?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? What if they're wearing have the Super Bowls lost the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Have the Patriots lost the Super Bowl?
They won it that year.
Okay, they won it that year. But say if we would have lost, it would have been a ton of Aaron Hernandez t-shirts out there in
Yeah.
third world countries.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. It's crazy.
You got Jose Lopez over there wearing a Aaron Hernandez jersey.
Oh,
What
man.
do you do?
I don't know who Jose Lopez. There's
It's
where
just a
you
made up.
lost me.
It's just a made up.
Like,
He
what?
just basically said Latin guy.
A
Yeah,
Latin guy.
Latin guy in a third world country that got the shirts that.
Okay, I was about to say it.
So what they do, Diana, is they make two sets, right? Two sets for that. So they make say the Niners in the Super Bowl,
Uh-huh.
which they were, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you had the Chiefs, right? So
Oh,
then
I
they
see.
they have one
Shirts
set.
that are ready.
Yeah.
So as soon as the team wins, they put it.
That
on
They
makes
put it out.
sense.
So you win. You get your t-shirt. You buy a t-shirt. But the Chiefs didn't win. But it says Chiefs Super Bowl winner. So what they do is they ship out all those t-shirts to third world countries. So then you have Jose Lopez over there walking around with a with a Niners jersey saying
Oh,
Super
that
Bowl
makes
winners,
sense.
Yeah.
and we didn't win the Super Bowl.
That reminds me, this was years ago when the Giants were in the World Series or something like that, and they lost. But then they at Costco they were selling World Series
That we
gear
won.
that they won. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was so confused. I was like, oh, I thought they lost. And my dad's like, that's why it's on sale.
I always did refer to Costco as the Twilight Zone. You can get lost in there, dog.
Yeah, you can. Man, so I think that maybe I don't know if we should refine the 1 hour segment any further, other than intro with the green screen, and then the intro video, and then the whoever has the lead on the green screen also gonna jump off to start off the discussion,
Mhm.
and then we're just gonna kind of go spark off of the conversation, however it goes, and then at some point we're gonna bring it back, right? At like what mark or what time should we just let that happen naturally, or should we say like, okay, look, we started at 7, now it's 7:30 or 7:45, and now we're bringing it to the community resources segment or whatever other segment that we decide.
I think that the person facilitating the actual episode should have a post on the conversation,
Mhm.
right? Obviously, in this situation, I let it run a little bit too much, too rapid. I brought it back only one time,
Mhm.
you know. This is obviously improvised, so I don't have facts or anything like that ready to go.
Yeah.
But I think it's the person with the topic that should dictate where the conversations, how far they should go, how far, when they should bring it back
Gotcha.
with just topics that they have, you know.
Mhm.
And yeah, and whoever's looking, should the person that's actually facilitating have the timer?
I think that if that's the case, yes.
Then it should have the timer,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So that way they could, or I mean, you could even just use their phone or whatever.
Or, yeah.
That way it could kind of know when. Otherwise, like we could run into like 2 hours. We'll be here just going
That's true.
easily. I think easily.
Easy.
Conversations go like this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hours of nothing.
And when you have the headphones on, it's like in front of the mic, it goes by extra fast.
It does. That reminds me, like one of them was sounding like a little bit low. Like I couldn't even hear like unless I put both of them on. I think only one of them had.
Yeah. So let's see. Could you follow your cord?
Yeah.
But you let me see. All right. So what are the seating arrangements, man?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't feel strongly about anyone in particular.
I
I'm
don't
okay
know.
with wherever.
You want
to
to
be
stay back
honest.
there? All right.
I like it. I'm just comfortable here now.
Yeah, it's your spot.
I don't mind being here. I think that this might be easier for whoever's going to be doing the green screen.
Oh, that's right.
Just might be because you might
It's
not.
30 seconds is more than enough time to walk anywhere, though. To be honest with
Yeah.
you.
And if we're gonna have 3 people on mics, 4 people on mics, if everyone's gonna be mic'd up, and then also if we're gonna share the role on like manning the computer, or are we gonna be having somebody designated on a certain day or?
This is how I feel. I think it should be us 3 to start off with the episodes. G, man, I think that you should have a mic. You should have a camera and a mic on G for sure. They have a mic out. You have the mic out there. Have him also on camera. But manning the board, if that's cool with you. Because it'll make it easier to fill that hour, especially since you have something to say there. Just
So put a
Hop
mic
on the
with
mic.
him, like one of the wireless mics
Mic 'em
set
up.
up right there.
mic him up.
And then so he'll do that, and he'll be like producing, and
Should be the
and
producer.
participating in the conversation.
Yeah.
How it started when you would have somebody in the producers.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'd have a yeah.
And then
Exactly.
also, I don't know if so you're obviously gonna do the research and have something for us to like discuss, right?
hmm
I know you showed us last time how to pull up different videos and stuff so that you can go straight to show the viewers at home if you
Yeah.
had like a video that kind of related to the topic that you could just toss right into the feed.
Mhm.
Is that something that? How are we going to coordinate that? Or we're
We,
not going to do that this time.
I think for the first few episodes, until G gets sort of acclimated with that stuff there, you'll get it quick, dude.
Yeah, I think it's the matter of doing it, and eventually you can start it.
You'll get it. And what he's talking about is on the screen that's previewing on YouTube. You can pull up this. And then you can show your browser. So let's go to
Comedy Store.
Oh, gotcha.
hit a Comedy Store. This keyboard is you're gonna get so irritated. Put in Comedy Store.
Comedy Store.
Yeah.
It'd probably come up anyways.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
So this is showing up here. So they'd be seeing like what we're talking about. Like that's the Comedy Store website. And then you can be like, all right, I'm done showing it. So Safari is, I tried to spell Safari there. It's there, and then you can just click the little eyeball.
Just kind of just show what you're gonna.
Click that off. All right. So, like I said, I think it's cool to do these mocks.
Mhm.
I am going to send you the link to this channel. This is the J channel.
Yeah.
This would be our test run channel. Go back and hear yourself. Let me know if you want to be a little louder. You are mic number 1.
Okay.
We'd have to figure out. I mean, are you good there?
I'm good here. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I don't really feel strongly about either one, honestly. It's really.
Okay, because I feel better over there.
Yeah, this is you then. This is
Okay.
you.
All right. So you're mic 1 then.
Okay.
No. Wait a minute. You're mic 1. You're mic 2. Did I say you're 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 2, and
So
I'm 3.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Yeah. So we'll adjust accordingly. Just make sure you give it a listen and let me know.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
I'll send you guys a topic tomorrow. It'll be pretty much like this.
Yeah.
Or do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about first?
No. That's totally good. For the community resources segment of it, I can bring a few different ideas, or if we all want to bring different community resources that we wanted to like share, shout out at the end of it, we could do that. Go ahead.
If you guys have anybody you guys want to shout out, I am looking for to get sponsorship from Pear Street Bistro. My boy Paco.
Yeah.
He donates all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get him to give us some moolah. Maybe you can get some better cameras. And maybe make it look better. I also thought it would be a good idea that Deanna, this is gonna be your section right here, right?
I guess so.
So you can put something that sort of, you can personalize your corner. You know,
Posters.
I think that'd be cool.
Okay. Nice.
And then I can put something there in Chelmo. You can have the green screen in the back.
I could throw something on.
Yeah.
That's good.
or
We
you,
can
or you
share.
can be here,
Yeah.
or we can move it
Uh-huh.
so that you can be more centered towards this way.
Anywhere.
These swivel around.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
I'm just a creature of habit, you guys.
Yeah.
So this is where I don't know, I like this little spot, but I'm not opposed to moving anywhere. So
You can
it doesn't matter.
wherever you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can personalize your spot if you want. And then G, we need to get you a camera. That'll be there. See, the only thing about that big ass green screen is that it's a big ass green screen,
Yeah.
Just don't wear green on Monday.
I know. And I still have to gotta figure it out. But the green screen you can put whatever you want in the back. So
Cool. Okay.
and they have a chroma key thing where the green screen actually turns black, which is weird, bizarre. But I need to come and set that up sometime this week. All right, so I think
Oh, one thing. For like promotion. So we're gonna have this next Monday, 7 p.m. on YouTube. So this is gonna be on our live feed. It's gonna be our first real one, right? Do you have ideas on like promotion of it? I mean, obviously no one's gonna know about it unless we let them know.
Are we
Yeah.
gonna stream it on the podcast app too, or on Spotify or whatever, as well,
That's
or is it just
great
gonna
question.
be YouTube?
I think it should be everywhere, but let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
So we'd have to set it up so that we stream it everywhere. I can get working on that tomorrow. So as far as promotion goes, I think that you guys need to hop on, or at least we all do, hop on. Sending just
I
a
don't have
quick-
anything.
quick clip. What do you mean?
I don't have any.
Anti-social.
Oh, social
I don't
media?
have anything.
Since MySpace.
No, not.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, but it's just
No,
not for
well,
me.
more power to you. But
Yeah.
I was talking in regards to the little clip.
Oh, okay,
little
okay,
video
okay,
clip.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like I said doesn't have to be anything. Just something that shows your face real quick, and I can match your name so that people know who you are.
Okay.
Mhm.
And we'll use that video clip because I think that's pretty cool what he did.
Yeah, and we snip it up a little bit,
We'll also slice it and dice it and
throw our faces into
throw our
it.
faces in there in the mix. Did you guys? So the only
G2, honestly, I think G should probably throw something in there too.
what, throw G in there?
In the intro.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you caught that part, G.
Yeah, I seen.
yeah.
So just doing like what you were saying, like the whole.
Oh, that's another thing too. When you guys are doing your video,
Okay.
so
That's cool.
horizontal, not vertical. That beat is a free beat that like I said, that I had stored from. It just kind of came to my head that I remember I had it. If anybody has any beat or any suggestion as far as something original that we were not gonna have a problem with,
Yeah.
we can also incorporate that into the show. Have some Ray stuff and be like, "Yo, you guys heard that track? That's in the intro. That's Ray Rose from
I think
Richmond."
Huh?
We can get something for the beat. 'Cause, we're planning on doing a DJ, not a DJ battle, but a beat battle. I think that should be.
Oh, that's a cool little competition right there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a prize. I mean,
To be like,
oh, we can use it for that.
yeah, I think that'll be dope. I think the one you have will be good for now.
Yeah.
And then I think we could, once if we do the beat battle, that'll be perfect. That'll be a great prize or part of the prize package, as they get to be highlighted as the theme song for the Moving Forward podcast.
Yeah. If you have the freestyle battle, if you have people that want to freestyle,
Yeah, I think that'd be cool too.
usually people that freestyle have, some kind of song or something like that. The winner, we're gonna feature your song in our intro.
Yeah,
Push you out there a little bit, get your name out there.
I think that
Too. I mean, the song to the podcast.
connect everybody.
Yeah. We get some of their fans, they get some of ours.
I think something like kind of, I don't know, something that represents what we're trying to do here would be cool, but it don't got to be like dead on. Obvious. We're doing this for the community.
No,
in unity,
Yeah.
together,
Kumbaya.
forever, y'all.
But I think we got a lot done today, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
It feels really good.
I wanted to have this set sort of not set, but
So we're set for the
Get to go.
kickoff Monday,
7
7 p.m.
be here at 6:30.
You think it'll go this long? I wasn't expecting it.
Nah.
This long?
Yeah.
Yeah, last time we were here till almost
Weird.
10 o'clock.
I know, but yeah, I didn't expect this. I thought we were gonna just like knock out some stuff and be like, okay, we got this. But now I'm like, okay, this is more.
takes long.
It's easy to get carried away with this.
Yeah, I kind of figured, to be honest with you. I was like, we're gonna be here for a minute. I told my dog, don't wait up for me.
Speaking of which, I got to get home to my dog.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta go home to my dinner. That shit's probably cool.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, mine too.
I'm so hungry.
Same. All right. So anything before any last?
I guess I can run you guys on how to turn this stuff off. So,
Somebody's gonna want this gun?
No, I have mine. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, I'm gonna eat it then.
So,
Hungry.
so all this stuff, one just hit stop streaming on